Hi guys, I am so sorry to have to change up plans, but this morning when we woke up, it kind of appears that Baylor might have gotten a spider bite or is having some sort of allergic reaction. So at 10:30, I will be taking him to the doctor. No worries though, we are still going to get to do our lab, and this might actually work out better because there were several people from the Nutcracker and band and stuff that were really sad that they were going to miss. So our lab will now be on next Wednesday. But what we did is we basically flip flopped Wednesday and today. So here are a couple things that I want to talk to you about. All of this is on the board behind me. So if you forget anything I say, just look up there. I'm going to give you the weekend to work on step 4. I'm sure most of you are finished with your step 4, but I want to give you the reminder. It will be if you are science fair, you should have one table, at least 2 graphs, and then some sort of data analysis, which is just your data into words. If you are research, you will need one, possibly 2 tables and a graph for what it looks like if your hypothesis is supported, and a graph for what it looks like if your hypothesis was not supported. This should all be typed. It should all be printed, and you will need to bring it with you to class on Monday. Rather than having the substitute take it up, you just keep it over the weekend, even if it's done, and we will peer edit it on Monday. So come with that ready to edit. However, over the weekend, you probably want to take a look at your project guidelines and take a look at step 5. Step 5 and 6 are huge. This is where your project is coming together, you're finalizing, you're wrapping things up. So you will definitely want to look at step 5 because that due date is January the 5th. So that is something that if you do not want to have a lot of homework over the Christmas break, you will want to start taking care of that now. You can get started on step 5 before we even do anything with your graphs and tables. So go ahead and get started this weekend if you have a little extra time. The other thing is I heard that there were some book issues, and I got several emails last night with the textbook. 2 things that I want to tell you about that. First of all, if you will go to my Blackboard page and go to course information, there is a link to the textbook there. If you will click on it, it gives some kind of like security message from Blackboard, and it will just ask you if you would like to open it in a new window. And by clicking it again, it gives you permission to open it into a new window. And it has worked fine for me that way. The people that seem to be having the issue are the people who are typing it in as a URL straight into your browser. So go through Blackboard. But since I'm not here today, you're going to get off the hook. This weekend, that summary must be taken care of. So you can either try the Blackboard site. If you're scared that you're not going to be able to get it to work, then go to the library, check yourself out a textbook. We've got lots of use of the textbook for the rest of the year. So that one would be, it would be good to have. You can just take it home, leave it home since we have a class set. You can borrow a book from my class. They're over on the bookshelf. You need to tell the substitute what book that you're borrowing. Take it with you over the weekend, and you need to bring it back first thing Monday morning. The sub will write down your name and the book number you're taking. Don't just take a book. You may borrow those, but please leave me a message so I know who's taken what. You can also stay after school. The library is open till 4:30, or it's open at 7:30 on Monday. So anytime you get home and you're having difficulty with your textbook, if you will just come to school early the next morning, 7:30, library's open, and they do have textbooks available there for you to use. So let's get busy with what you're going to be doing today. Today, you're going to use your number 95, and it is going to be looking at the periodic table. You're going to use this. This is an alien periodic table. I want you to go over the front of it, read it together as a class. Then you will be working with your partner to figure this out. Rule number 1, no whining. This is not too hard. This is a thinking activity. I was here for first period, so I got to hear the most common questions and things that seem to trip people up. And the biggest thing was reading the directions. These are clues. You're going to not be able to fill necessarily all of them in at one time. You may skip around at times, but you need to use your information of how the periodic table is organized to fill in your periodic table worksheet. So number 95 is your alien periodic table. The directions are on that front page. Go ahead, after this video is over, read that together with your with the substitute. At the bottom, it says to color. You will want to color these. You will want to use pencil though for some of your elements, because you may decide to move them around as you go throughout the activity. The back of page 1 is your periodic table. Feel free to separate those so that you can see all of your clues at one time. The second page is the clues, and you may work with this partner at your table to get that done. And so I want to move locations just a minute to show you what you will be seeing. On the board, the substitute will put up the periodic table, and it looks like, trying to get used to this camera, you'll be using this sheet. So let me show you. The first one I want to read to you, it says the noble gases are Bumble, Wobble, Jeptum, and Logum. Bumble is a noble gas. So first of all, you should immediately be able to tell if I'm talking about a noble gas, it's going to be this far right column. Then it gives clues like Bumble is a noble gas, but doesn't have 8 outer electrons. What noble gas on your periodic table do you currently have that doesn't have 8 outer electrons? Those are the kinds of things you're going to need to be thinking about. So these are all clues. If you get stuck on one, skip over to the next one. It gives you alkalis, halogens. Then it gives you some with some protons, some metalloids. We're the lightest and heaviest. Then it talks about gaining and losing electrons. The key that I want you to remember is that every element is looking to have 8 electrons in their outer shell. So that will really help you out when thinking about where these electrons are doing. So what you're going to do is you will fill yours in. And after everybody has had a chance to fill theirs in, color their periodic table with the color pencils on your desk. The substitute will project the answers. I have got them for you on Promethean, and so she will project them so that you can see your answers. If you are done and you are waiting on others to finish around you, you can work on worksheet 91, 92, and 93. All of those will not be homework right now. However, if your behavior is not appropriate, if you are talking, if you do not get things done, then the substitute reserves the right to assign all 3 of those for homework for you this weekend. That is not my plan, so behave well. I do not want to come back to notes on Monday with people's names. I do not want to come back to whining and this is too hard and the substitute didn't explain it and we didn't know what to do. I am expecting you to read these directions, you to think it through. And if you have to ask each other and help each other out, do so. But this is a thinking activity, so it's going to be a little hard. You may not get it right off. You may have to reread it, think about it again, and go back to it. But I promise you, you are very smart and you can figure this out. While you're waiting, remember, get out worksheet 91, 92, 93. Take care of those. As long as you are well behaved, those will not be due on Monday, but the substitute will leave me a note if those have to be assigned to individuals or a class. And then let me see, am I forgetting anything? And over the weekend, we would love to have some ornaments for our tree. And so if you have the time to make a periodic table ornament for our Christmas tree, our chemistry tree, we would love to have some of those. I hope you have a great weekend, hoping everything is okay, and can't wait to see you guys on Monday.